Hi! The hell's this? This isn't my regular corner. Actually, from now on it is. I don't know how the lighting is. This is the first time I'm shooting something with this setup. I'm on summer vacation, so, I was bored. I wanted to kind of move stuff around, and I actually bought new shelves also, because old ones were getting full and all that kind of stuff. So the lighting might not be perfect yet, but I'm not like 100% happy how it looks on camera, but it's fucking something. At least now you can see more my kind of gaming related stuff here, shit like that, Oh, and yeah, I do have plushy toys like this. Some of these are really old. Like this little pig here. I got this. I believe when I went to army, and that was like 24 years ago. So yeah, I got this little pig then. Still have it. Collector mindset, never throw anything away. Anyway, this is a gaming pickups video where I have retro this time. I have actually, gotta say most of these are 90s PC games. But they are for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, and there's even one PlayStation 4 game, because these are remastered versions of those. There's a little echo here. God damn it. That was a really unwanted side effect from rearranging my shelves. I don't know how my voice comes in the video yet, but Jesus, I think I gotta buy those shit that you put on your walls that, suck the noise, so I can get rid of this echo. Yeah, this sucks. But this video is gonna be echoey. Anyway, let's start showing the games I got. I got 3 games for Nintendo Switch, 1 for PlayStation 4, and 3 games for PlayStation 5. Yeah. And I'll start with the Nintendo Switch games, because there's 2 that I've already unboxed, so you've seen them on this channel. If you watch my unboxings, if you don't, well, you're missing out. They're great. I think I'm supposed to sell those. Go watch those if you haven't seen those. I'll get views, and maybe at some point I'll get monetized. People can dream. But anyway, first game I have here is Operation Nightstrikers. It still looks like an 8. Nightstriker 8, but it's Operation Nightstrikers. And this one has 4 games, which are all light gun games, and actually the first one, maybe 2 first ones are from the 80s. I do know the first one is Operation Wolf. Then we have Operation Thunderbolt, Nightstriker, and Space Gun. And I played this, and I had only played Operation Wolf growing up on PC, and I loved it back then. Now going back to it, it's old. It's not the best light gun game out there. You're a commando, you have your Uzi, and you have grenades, and yeah, you just try to kill everything that moves except hostages on the screen, and yeah, the screen keeps moving, so it's on-rail light gun shooter, basically. Time has not been kind to that game. Like, it was fun to revisit it, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna revisit it anytime soon. I might just like in 10 years from now. I just kind of want to feel the feelings I felt when I was a kid, back when we still had hope and we felt good. So I might pop it in like 10, 20 years from now and try it, but it wasn't good. It wasn't really that good anymore. Fun trip through memory lane, but that's about it. Then we have Operation Thunderbolt, which was better. I'm not saying that was great either, but it was better. It was better. Oh, also there's lots of different versions of these games here. When it comes to Operation Wolf, I think I played like the regular PC or possibly console version or something like that. I didn't play the arcade version, which might have been my mistake, but yeah. Operation Thunderbolt, I played the arcade version, and that was way better. Actually, the rest of these I played the arcade version. So Operation Thunderbolt, pretty much same as Operation Wolf. You're a one-man's army, and there's shit tons of enemies, and yeah. You can really see that these were all arcade games, and they were designed to eat your quarters. Because you died a lot. But luckily there's an endless supply of quarters in these versions, so I actually beat every game except Operation Wolf, because I didn't want to stick with that. Then we have Nightstriker, which was actually, it was a bit different. In that one you were flying around in a little car. It was kind of like more like a Star Fox maybe, or what was that? Space Harrier. How was it? For Sega. I don't remember. There were those games where you were this guy who was flying on the screen and shooting everything. It was a fun game. But yeah, Nightstriker kind of reminded me of that. It was a decent arcade shooter. And then we have Space Gun, which was probably my favorite. It was the bloodiest out of these all. And in that one, you're in a space station. It's again, you just have the crosshair there and you shoot everything that moves. Well, except humans. Yeah, you shoot all the space aliens, and you can actually shoot all the limbs and stuff from them separately, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, none of these will probably blow your mind, but I'd say if you have nostalgic feelings to these games, I kind of enjoyed the trip down the memory lane. I mean, Operation Wolf, again, the only one I had played before, but it was still kind of fun to see more games from that era, or, the 90s or something. Yeah, light gun games. I was a huge fan of light gun games in the arcades back in the day, so yeah. I always kind of enjoyed those. Not like long play sessions, but short and sweet. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet too. Probably isn't anymore, but I'm gonna move on to the next game. Operation Nightstrikers. Not Nightstriker 8. Next game for Nintendo Switch, I also unboxed here. It didn't have much, but it was all inside the basic game cover and all that, so it didn't even have any kind of box like that one had, bigger box. This was just a game cover, and I played through a few games of these. Really enjoyed these. These are fantastic. Some of the best games NES had to offer. This one also has 2 SNES games. I've never played those, and weirdly, I still haven't tried those, so I didn't have time to go. I mean, these aren't long, but I wanted to play something else after playing like 4 or 5 of these NES games. The Disney Afternoon Collection. This is fucking fantastic. You got some of the best NES games in here. DuckTales, DuckTales 2, Chip 'n Dale, Chip 'n Dale 2, Tailspin, which can go and fuck itself, and Darkwing Duck. And you also have the, fuck with those games, Bonkers and Goof Troop. Those are the SNES. Yeah, I think those were SNES games. Yeah. Those were SNES games. Yeah, DuckTales. I played through DuckTales 1 and DuckTales 2. First time I played DuckTales 2, it's basically just more of DuckTales, but because DuckTales is awesome, DuckTales 2 is automatically awesome also. And I played through Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, which is also one of those games I played through multiple times growing up, and I played it through again. Yeah, still loved it. I didn't play Chip 'n Dale 2 yet. I'm gonna go and play it at some point, but never actually played that, so I wanted to start from the first game. Then Tailspin. I actually remember renting that as a kid, and I remember playing it through growing up. I don't know how, cause now, and believe me, I used save states. You can actually rewind this too, but there's one boss I couldn't fucking do it. I have no idea how you make through that without taking a hit, without taking any hits. I mean, without taking too many hits, because it seems like you have to take a couple of hits here and there. That was just insane. Tailspin is basically a shoot 'em up. One of those games where the plane is moving all the time and you have to shoot everything that enters the screen, and well, except in this one you don't really have rapid fire. You can buy faster firing later on, but you don't have all those special weapons you have in modern shmups or older shmups either. No, it's just really kind of bare bones shmup. I do like it, the graphically and all that, but man, that was a brutal game. Just couldn't do it. Fuck that game. Darkwing Duck, played it through, loved it. That last boss though, yeah, I had to use save state because it took me a while to understand how you actually kick his ass. Once you got it, first part was a bitch, but second part it was kind of easy. So, but yeah, fantastic games. If you love NES games, why wouldn't you love NES games? NES is the best console out there that's ever been made. It's my all-time favorite console. So buy this collection. These are fantastic. These games are from times when actually licensed games competed in the Game of the Year category pretty much every year. We had it good back then. Then, like closer to, end of 90s, things started to drop. I think developers just got greedy, they thought that we'll slap a license here and everyone's gonna buy that shit. I mean, we had crappy licensed games in the early 90s and 80s too, but Jesus, late 90s it started to be nothing but crappy licensed games. But yeah, fantastic game. I highly recommend that collection. If you like, especially platformers. Goof Troop was some kind of isometric view game. That actually looks kind of cool. I should really go and try that out. I'm gonna go and try that out. Trust me. This echo is bothering me. Fuck. Then we're down to my last Nintendo Switch game, and I loved this game growing up. This is a PC first-person shooter. Actually, this is kind of one of the first-person RPG-style shooters, because this one has RPG elements in it. And it's not just strict corridors. This one has kind of open area where you go around and do missions. This was way ahead of its time when it came out. Loved it back then. Now, replaying it... Oh, the game is Strife, by the way, and this is the Veteran Edition. Yeah, I meant to buy this when this actually came out, but for some reason I didn't. But now I ran into this and I remembered, that's that fucking game I was supposed to buy because I loved it, and it can be a bit confusing. It's not the most confusing game out there, but it can be a bit confusing. Older games, they didn't have the same kind of systems that modern games have, where they show you with yellow paint and all those, arrows and all those, like, go here, do that, stand right there, and blah, 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 blah. Nope. Here you really gotta know where you have to go and memorize those places. Also, the shooting it's not the funnest. It was alright. But there are way better shooters, just pure shooters out of the 90s, which are gonna, by the way, some of them are gonna come later on in this video, but yeah, goddamn, it was alright. It didn't ruin my experience with this game. I still loved this, but not as much as growing up. Still, I'd say, especially if you have nostalgic, feelings towards this game, give it a go. If you're interested in old, let's say kind of the game before all those, Deus Ex and Thief games and all those came out, which really just, did the first-person shooting / RPG elements, blending those together, made them fucking fantastically. This is kind of, because this is like Doom engine, I do believe, Doom 1, Doom 2 engine, so it's rough. Still, enjoyed it. This one has its own kind of atmosphere that you can't just replicate with modern graphics, which I do appreciate, but it takes some getting used to. Enjoyed it, not the best. I can't recommend this to everyone, but if you're kind of 90s shooters, I think, and you like a bit of RPG, let's say very light elements in your game, you could do worse. Well, actually, I don't know how you could do, because Deus Ex and Thief and Fallout games and Skyrims, Elder Scrolls are better than that. Well, I think you should try it. Next, I have my one PlayStation 4 game, and when I saw this, I had totally forgotten that this came out. I remember when they announced the physical edition of this. For some weird reason, I skipped this. I do not know why. This was one of the best games growing up. I loved this. This is actually a shooter. You go around in a space fighter, on planets and shoot shit tons of enemies and all that kind of stuff. This was so damn good back then. And you know what? Gotta say, now that I played this again, I still love this. This was great. Terminal velocity. It has just the crosshair and, you accelerate and decelerate. It feels more like if you played Descent, those old Descent games. It feels more like that than actual, like one of those, like TIE Fighter and X-Wing games, where you fly around in a space fighter in space. It feels more arcade. This feels like this is made for arcades where you rack up some points as you go through the missions, but it's not some on-rail. It is a fully 3D, you have a certain area and there's lots of stuff for you to destroy, and there's also these tunnels you can find, and there's quite a few different weapons in this, and you also get upgrades to some of the weapons, so you can make them more powerful, but the upgrades always have some kind of limited amount of ammunition, so you don't want to go too trigger happy. Also, there's a pretty nice boss fights. The controlling, the flying can sometimes get a bit confusing, you know, which side up, which side down, especially if you're in a tunnel and you're circling around a boss and trying to be quick with your moves and all that. It can get a bit confusing at times, but still, I loved this because growing up, the explosion effects were fantastic in this. I fucking loved those, and still, they look good. They're 2D rendered kind of in 3D environment, so you see them from front always, but I don't mind, they still look fantastic. The enemies, they fly like every plane or tank or whatever is being controlled by an old Alzheimer-ridden grandma. They move really slow. Still, I did get killed in this, but if you know, take your time and you actually fly a bit faster, you're usually pretty good in this. Loved it. This is fucking fantastic. I love it. This is like, well, I don't know what this is like. This is it kind of reminds me of like Star Fox games, arcadiness combined to a kind of space fighter simulator with zero simulator elements. Star Fox combined with Descent. God, I want Descent games also. Whew, they should bring out a new Descent. What happened to that series? It's fucking fantastic. But yeah, Terminal Velocity Boosted Edition. I love this game. This is great. Simple. It's not gonna be, you know, none of these games are gonna, you know, offer you entertainment for full-on weeks or anything like that. It's a couple hours and they're usually true. Strife is a bit longer. I didn't beat that actually, but yeah, great. Love it. Then we get to my PlayStation 5 games, and this one, this is actually a package that has 2 games, and these are not old PC games, these are actually old PlayStation... Well, the other one is PlayStation 1 and the other one is PlayStation 2 games. And I had only played the sequel, which was the PlayStation 2 game growing up, so I had no idea how the first one plays, and but I was curious because I really liked the sequel back in the days. And this is Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered, and yeah, when it comes to 3D adventure games on PlayStation 1, they can be kind of a hit or miss. And I played the first Soul Reaver from this collection. I didn't beat it. I played it, I don't know, 2-3 hours, something like that, so it's not like I got that far in it, but I mean, I had to spend a bit of time looking around where the hell I'm supposed to go. Older games, you know, they can be kind of bits, because like I said, with the other games I mentioned there, no yellow paint or anything like that, so you gotta be smart, unlike with modern games. Had to do a little bit of pointless running around, but I did find my way forward little by little, and it does show its age. Soul Reaver, the first one, it was alright. I didn't love it, but it was alright. Third person hack and slash action adventure with puzzles and, you know, combat. You're basically a vampire who got shafted by Kain badly, and yeah, let's just say you took a little dirt nap and woke up several years, decades after that happened, so you're out for a revenge. Combat can be a bit clunky, it's a bit different. I did kind of like the combat because you have to find weapons and use those. I mean, you can only carry like one weapon at a time, and certain enemies die in certain ways because they're vampires, so you know, sunlight, obviously, if you can get them there, you can slow them down, or I do believe kill some of them, and yeah, there's all kinds of stakes and axes and whatever you can find and use against your enemies. I think I would have loved it more if I had played it actually when it came out for PlayStation 1. Yeah, not sure if I'm gonna go back and possibly finish it, but I might if I have a good period when I can't really find anything else to play. Yeah, I might go back and play it more, but yeah. Didn't play Soul Reaver 2. Only things I can say about it is what I remember from the PlayStation 2 version, which I do believe I do have. There we go, Soul Reaver 2. This one I really dug back in the days. I do feel like this was a big improvement on Soul Reaver 1, but like I said, I played it last back on my PlayStation 2 when PlayStation 2 was still a kind of new the best console out there. Or, you know, whichever you consider was the best console out there on that era. I mean, there was PlayStation 2 and GameCube and Dreamcast. Nothing else really worth talking about. Soul Reaver 1, clunky, bit empty looking and all that. And it's not that I hate, you know, PlayStation 1 games. I played Siphon Filter, first one, a little while ago, and it took some getting used to, but still overall I actually really dug that game still after all these years, so it's not really that. Also I played Metal Gear Solid, the first one through when they released the collection of the first Metal Gear Solid collection, so yeah, really enjoyed that too, found nothing wrong with that. But then again, when it comes to Metal Gear Solid series, that's always kind of had more, I'd like to say, effort or care, more care when they actually developed that. It's because Kojima is a sick genius, so you know, there's that. First Soul Reaver, it was a bit and that's about it, what I have to say about it. I don't really know what else to say about it. Soul Reaver 2, and probably next time I'm gonna insert that into my PlayStation. I'm gonna play, jump straight into Soul Reaver 2. Because I'm curious to see how that actually plays, but haven't played it yet. Then we're back to PC shooters from the 90s, and this was fantastic. I never played this much growing up. I never beat this or anything like that. I didn't have this on myself. My friend had this, and I tried a little bit over his place. And again, one of those first-person shooters that's pretty much on Doom engine, but this was something mind-blowing back when this came out, and this was Dark Forces Remastered, a Star Wars game. Yeah, I think this came out like, I don't know, says 95 here. 95 this came out, and it had been a long while since we got, you know, Star Wars, the original trilogy. So this was fucking fantastic to get this game, and back then, you know, we got TIE Fighter and X-Wing. Those were other great games, Star Wars games back in the days, and also back then when we got Star Wars stuff, it was always connected pretty much straight to the original trilogy. We didn't have the whole watered down universe that we have now, thanks Disney. I don't hate everything Disney does, but let's just say when it comes to Star Wars, I don't get excited anymore. But man, it was great to play this, because this obviously only influence that this game got was the original trilogy, and you could feel it from the music, from the enemies and all that, you know, just the characters in this game too, and all the places you were adventuring in this, so damn good. Playing this, I played this through, it just felt like I was dealing with something that had to do something with the original Star Wars trilogy. It felt like that. This felt like prime Star Wars experience, you know? Now to be fair, this is a pretty straightforward first-person shooter. Kind of like Doom games, except this one has Star Wars skins, and it does look kind of empty at places, and some of those levels, boy, they were really like mazes, you know? It was fucking hard to find where you were supposed to go at times, you know. I was running around the maps like headless chicken all over, you know. And luckily you move really fast in this. Like, it's insane, you know, the way you run around and shoot stuff, you know. I kind of love that in old first-person shooter games, like Doom games. You move really swiftly around, and it's all about shooting reactions, dodging enemy bullets, and shooting back, and finding, you know, right key cards and levers and all that you have to pull to advance in the level. And yeah, really simple levels. It took me like probably 2, maybe 3 days that I played this through, you know. It was, but still really enjoyable. When I'm talking about in hours, I don't know, maybe, was it even like 10 hours? I don't even remember. I think this had like 14 or 15 different levels. And they were, if you knew where to go, they could be really short. You know, I think like fastest level I beat was, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes or something like that. But that was one of the first ones. But later on, you get so lost at times that, you know, if you're playing first time and you're not using a walkthrough, yeah, it does stretch the game time a lot. Fun weapons, not as fun as in Doom, but still quite fun, you know. You got all those thermal detonators from Star Wars, and you got blasters, and you got the pistol, laser pistol, and it's just really enjoyable. Like I said, prime Star Wars experience. I fucking love this. If you love Doom, the old Doom 1 and 2, and you love Star Wars, here's some Doom for you in Star Wars skins. Also, this one has cutscenes, which were kind of fun too. Mostly it's just guys standing and talking, so nothing special really there. But you have Darth Vader here also, which was kind of cool. So yeah, I'd say when it comes to Doom clones, this is one of the better shooters. Highly recommend if you're into Doom 1 and Doom 2 and like Wolfenstein 3D, all that kind of early stuff. Play that. And then we have the last game, or last games, because this one actually has 2 games again, package, and these are also old 90s PC shooters. Kinda. Well, the other one is kind of more first-person shooter, and the other one is it has more emphasis on close-quarter combat, which, yeah. Anyway, the games I'm talking about here is Heretic+Hexen. Man, I had both games growing up. Never beat neither one though. I don't know why. It's not like these were the most... Well, I beat Heretics first because there's like 3 different campaigns. Or was there 5? I don't know. But I beat the first one and yeah, then I switched to Hexen. I didn't beat the campaign on Hexen yet. That game's puzzling. But yeah, I'll talk about Heretic first. Heretic is again, one of those Doom engine games, except it's kind of more olden days, where you're some kind of wizard and you can get all these kind of magics, you have staff and all that shoot stuff. It's basically a first-person shooter, but the weapons are they look more oldish. You have your staff that shoots, and you had some lightning stuff you could shoot from your hands and all that kind of stuff. Different weapons which were kind of fun. I really enjoyed those, and it kind of looks bare bones for the most parts, but it is, again, just like Dark Forces, it's fast-paced, you run around, you can really just speed through the levels, which I kind of like. These type of games, they're just so quick and easy to and fast and fun to put in your machine, run through a level or 2, and, then play maybe something else. Or maybe you want to play through the whole thing, I don't know. But yeah, it's really just enjoyable Heretic, just like old Dooms and Dark Forces there. Hexen is a different story though. When it comes to Hexen definitely looks better. It's got great atmosphere. I really love the atmosphere. It's kind of spooky at times. It really is like horror elements and vibes and that. But yeah, it has more emphasis on the close quarter combat, using your fists or whatever, stick, axe, whatever you happen to have. It does have weapons that shoot stuff. You get those later on, but you have to rely on your close combat weapons also quite a bit. And when it comes to first-person shooters or first-person games and close combat, I'm usually not a huge fan. Every game that's first-person and has close quarter combat, I don't really enjoy it that much. I do feel it's kind of clunky when it's from your eyes and you just see the weapon and you move like forwards and backwards and just slash and all that. Skyrim, Oblivion, Elder Scrolls game I played, I mostly did use like magic and, well, the bow and arrow, because that was just the fucking funnest thing to do in those games. Yeah, rarely I played through as guy who uses sword. Something about first-person view and close quarter combat just... yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. So yeah, when it comes to these 2 games, I think I actually enjoyed Heretic more, even though it doesn't look as good and it doesn't have atmosphere as good as Hexen, not even nearly. But it's just got that fast pace running around and shooting, which I find that kind of therapeutic in a way. You don't really have to think too much, you just go around and kill all enemies. Hexen, it is that bit of, going forward and hitting and taking step back. There's also shield, there was shield so you can defend yourself and all that, but still. I'd say Heretic wins Hexen by this much. Hexen's just the atmosphere and graphics and just the overall lore and all that. Also, when it comes to Hexen's much more complicated to go through the game because it can be quite the maze and, just really puzzling, all the levels and all, because it doesn't feel like it has actually levels you can enter and exit places back and forth, and sometimes you even have to go, you might find a key from some other level or something and then you have to go back to this other place so you can use the key there and all that, so you have to memorize a lot and go back and forth. So that one it didn't bother me really that much, because while I was locked into the game I did memorize all the I got key, I remembered you have to go here and use that there, and it wasn't really like that big of a deal, but now that I've taken a little break from that game, I'm kind of scared to go back, just because I don't really remember much where I was going. So it has that. Heretic, it's Doom-like, Dark Forces-like levels, simple, you know, straightforward, except you have to go around these mazes and find keys and all those kind of right switches and all that stuff. But still, it's much more, you know, easier to get back into at the time. So yeah, I'm giving Heretic a little bit of an edge here. Love that. But I'd say both are worth a try. A lot of people seem to like Hexen more, so maybe I'm the odd man out. Don't know, but yeah, that was all the games I got this time. Everything's pretty much retro. Oh, I might as well give this. Let's give these all a score. This one, I give it 6. Operation Wolf was a disappointment after all these years, but it was still kind of fun trip down memory lane, so I'll give it 6. 9, cause these are some of the best platformers on this, you know, DuckTales games and Chip and Dale's games, and Darkwing Duck also. Tailspin can go tail fuck itself. It's still alright, but not as good. Strife has its problems. Loved it back in the days. I'm gonna say 7.5. 7.5. I said 7. Like I said, it has its problems with the shooting's not the best mechanic. It's not the most nicest mechanic. It's not the most fluid, or it's awkward. It's a bit awkward. Terminal velocity. I love this. This is one of those games you can pop in every time, play through a level or two, just, you know, blow everything to pieces. And yeah, I really enjoyed this back in the days. I still enjoyed this. I'm gonna give this 8.5. Dark Forces. This is fucking fantastic also. A Doom-like game. Bit empty looking levels, and some of those levels were unnecessarily maze-like, unnecessarily complicated, you know, find the right way where to go and how to advance and all that. So I'm gonna give it 8.3. I do prefer Terminal Velocity just a little bit more, but Soul Reaver, when it comes to the first one, 6.5. Now that I keep talking about it, I think I might actually go back and play it more. Soul Reaver 2, from what I remember back in the PlayStation days, I'm gonna give that 8.5. That was really fantastic. Heretic+Hexen. Heretics 8.3. I'll put it on the same par as Dark Forces pretty much. And nah, scratch that. 8.2, because Star Wars theme, the good old Star Wars themes in that games, you know, the musics and all those are slide edge. Heretic 8.2. Hexen 8. Still really great, but yeah. And obviously, if you're not down with the old 90s PC style shooters and all that, that pile's gonna be pretty goddamn useless to you. But if you like that type of stuff, you haven't played some of these or any of these, yeah, I want to give it a go. Anyway, fucking headache. It's my summer vacation. It's my first week. I got 4 weeks, and yeah, I feel like I've been working more than when I was at work. You know, just rearranging my furniture and all that shit. Also, my neck's fucking killing me, because 2 or 3 nights I've been kind of on the couch in a weird position, because my cat's been on top of me and my neck's been kind of in a kind of weird bend, and I can't lift my cat. You know, if they're there and they're comfortable, you can't move them. Those are the rules when you're cat owner. But yeah, anyway, fuck off and I'll fuck off, and we'll meet back here when I upload more crap. And that was it. New setup. I don't know how this. I put something here, but the thing is, I've designed this in a way that my cats can actually come here. You know, they can jump here and here and here. Because I like to do stuff like that, so my cats can get some activities. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is my PlayStation 2 shelf. There's my PlayStation 1 games also, and this is basically my crap shelf where I have consoles. Here's my NES, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 4, there's my Sega Mega Drive, and there's also some statues. This one, same thing. Got my PlayStation 3 here, PlayStation 2 is here, three of my PlayStation 2s. Got my original Xbox there, Wii there, and some statues. So yeah, this is the new setup. I still gotta kind of think through the whole lot. I think the lighting's, you know, it's been worse on my channel, so I think it'll do. I might have to, while I'm editing this, I'll have to listen to the sound, because I feel like it's fucking echoey as fuck here. Have you played those? Do you like those retro remasters? I think it's because PlayStation said they're not gonna release any more physical games after 2028. I kind of went back in time, find all the great games that I've missed. I mean, I haven't missed all those, but still, Goodbye.